Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 15 of The Truth from the Booth. I am your host, DJ Prophet, aka Chris Figueroa. And on today's episode, we have a good buddy of mine. He is an entrepreneur, he is a creative soul, he is a comedy producer, he is a pickleball fiend, he is a extraterrestrial studying of the stars. He is a um a talented, wonderful, amazing person. His name is Jordan Bryant, and he is here with us on The Truth from the Booth. Welcome, Jordan.
Dude, thank you so much, Chris. I love everything you said, and it's 100% correct about the extraterrestrials.
It is. Speaking on that, I was excited for the UA-31 passing last night. I wish there would have been like some kind of, physical manifestation of reality coming in. I think it was more of a realization that, we are in an infinite space. There are other things out there that you can't imagine. I think it opened up a lot of people's minds to that and got people looking up. At least it did its job as trying to expand people's minds, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if a lot of your viewers know this, but you acted in my Alien film when I was an alien.
Yeah.
Does anyone know about that story? It's a great
No,
story. Yeah, I
no.
mean, just a quick tangent. How I wanted you to be an actor in my Alien film. I was the extraterrestrial, and I was trying to blend in with Earth, and we had a confrontation at LA Fitness. No, it's funny because that film now gets even it's a 15-minute great short film, and the more alien stuff that comes out in real life, the more valuable that short film gets.
Right. It's something that a seed that was planted that grew because more eyes are coming on it as we get,
Yeah,
into the future.
yeah.
It could get, something made 3 years ago can still go viral if the right trend hits.
Absolutely. I'm actually gonna chop that up, make like little bite size of maybe just our clip.
Dude, when you throw in the opus into what I just
Yeah,
gave you, it's gonna make it crazy.
yeah,
Speaking on filmmaking, and that is, I believe, what your true passion and I feel your
yes.
probably main purpose is here. What kind of inspired that as a kid or as an adolescent to make you want to get into that?
Yeah, it was probably when I was making a short film with my brother and my neighborhood friends, and I love the fact that I can create something and bring my family together to watch the movie. So it was a way for me to kind of just bring people together, and I always enjoyed that, and I always enjoyed going to the movies and how it brings everyone together. So at 14, I got my first camera, and then I would set up our back room to have multiple I would set up a movie theater. I would push the couches out to make it look like a movie theater, and then I would invite the neighborhood, neighbors, friends, family, and I would always premiere our films and make it like a movie theater, and it was a fun time, and I just enjoyed like doing that. To It was mainly just to bring people together and entertain them, and that's how I got my significance. Is man, if I love making people laugh, they love me for making them laugh, and I felt loved, and it was a good addiction to keep creating, showing, and premiering, and but not just creating, but really premiering it in a way that was unique, which we'll get into later. How I started renting out movie theaters and really bringing people together in a live event format, and then it just kind of kept going from there. And obviously meeting you along the journey and snagging you, and you've probably been in two of my biggest films. One of them was the Alien one, another one was you were military. I needed the
Pickleball.
macho military, the black ops that you call in when the main military can't do the job. You call in this guy who doesn't really play by the rules, and he comes in through a I think you you came through the back poolside area with a machine gun. It's a great clip, dude. So yeah, and then this is experiences, hanging out with people like you on set, and this is so many side benefits that filmmaking brings, not just the end product, but creating it, showing it, getting to hang out with great people. And I was just addicted to a lot of natural chemicals. If you could, dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all kinds of crazy fun stuff comes from the
Yourself.
filmmaking world.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. I love that you realized this at a young age. It's almost like you were born to do this. Like, you realize some people don't realize their purpose until their late 40s, 30s, different
Yeah.
everyone has a different formula of their timing, and for you to tap into that at an early age and be able to execute and express it, not just to your family, but extended family, neighbor, like you said, gathering neighbors together. So you really are a magnet for, um, entertainment and togetherness, and I think that's what entertainment does is it brings people together like you were saying, and, that's amazing to be able to, uh, realize that at a young age and execute into this into now. And as you spoke of, you went from living room premiere from your neighborhood in your house into renting out entire movie theaters in Temecula here locally at the mall to where you sold tickets. We had a premiere, multiple premieres, including after party at a local bar. I mean, you are an event superstar event producer locally, and you've achieved that. And I want to know, where do you go? Let's talk about a little bit about putting that together, and then where do we go from there? Like, you got to go local before you go global. And I think now that you're getting into that comfort zone of local, it's time to step it up and, let's go worldwide, baby.
I love it. You have to start local and then you go global. I
Yes.
That's a good little, lesson for anyone who wants to make master classes.
Yes, you're welcome.
Um, and like, and obviously I don't know if the viewers know this too, but you were the DJ for my last event, which was freaking awesome. It was our first time I sold out and I had to tell people they can't come in. So that's when you know you're doing it right too. And so you and me, like I like talking to people like you because like you live and breathe live, live events. So yeah, so really the next part of the journey for the live events is you're exactly right. When I want to go global. So what global looks like for me is basically how can I be omnipresent at every movie theater without compromising, like style, the way I do it? Because everyone has a formula of how they do their live events, and I didn't want to just like get my movie to theaters and there's no red carpet, there's no step and repeat, there's no like live DJ. Like I believe like the live DJ in the movie theater has been my cornerstone, and just when you walk in, you see a DJ, and the lights. There's something about that like experience that like while you're sitting, because everyone hates like for me, I always found it kind of boring sitting in the movie theater waiting for the movie to start to have like a DJ bumping the music, saying some funny stuff, saying some cool stuff, and that like so like how do I replicate that and make it nationwide and like so that's kind of where my head is at. So like you said, local, I can make a movie here locally and then you simply just upload it to the movie theater chain to their cloud service, and now every cloud movie theater has the film. So that's how you make it globally in like a click of a button. But the next phase is how do we get like a representation of me to adopt my philosophy and make it every single year. So the end goal really is to do what we do once a year, but make it synchronized at like 150 movie theaters all at once. That's kind of like the end goal, like the 10-year plan. And then on top of that, we have the online streaming event too that's also globally. So the people that don't like or can't make it or it gets sold out, we have a once a year, we have an online streaming version of the premiere. We try to make that as fun as interactive as possible. I'm still working on that, but that's like the next phase. Like, I call it like COVID proof one, right? Like that's since COVID, they closed down all the movie theaters. And I thought I was not able to do movie events ever again for a second. There's always that twinge of like, is this going to be forever? So kind of like doing a global live event and then an online streaming event, and then I teach it now. Actually, I made a course on how to rent locally in your own city, and I sold my first student. I still coach her to this day, and I have like I'm optimistic about continuing that journey of you know showing other people in their home city how they can do exactly what I did. So that's a whole nother layer of just contributing back of what and I'm sure like the truth from the booth. Like that's why I love love the name. Is like you can now talk to other DJs and you guys can all help each other out. And any like DJ who's listening, can like, get ideas on how to enhance their DJ business. So like stuff like that, like I just want to like kind of give back to my filmmakers and help them out. And so there's kind of like two sides. So me actually doing it, because if you're not doing what you're teaching,
Right.
then people kind of think you're not the real deal. So number one, I have to be continuously, getting good at my craft. And then number two, I have to be teaching my craft. So it's kind of a two-lane street. And right now, like in my life, I haven't had a live premiere because in almost 2 years, because the last year was my first time I did the online streaming premiere. Now that I got that down, now I'm ready to kind of go tangent. So I'm getting back in the business of live events. I'm a little rusty. I just got back from Date with Destiny, so I need to recharge my batteries, my mindset. Tony Robbins, and now like this is a perfect time. You said you wanted to interview me. I was like, dude, great. I'm feeling good, and I'm more kind of clear on where I want to go. And of course, I always like talking to you. I bought you coffee to pick your brain because I look at you. I'm like, dude, this guy. Like before we were talking on the damn thing, I was like, dude, you sound like you're running. You're probably jogging, huh? You're working out.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't work out yet. That's what I'm doing after this. So like I always looked up to you as like as far as like getting your health right before you start to do anything in life. Making your health is number one. And that's something I always admire about you, man.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, it's the entrepreneur life is not easy.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of emotional, psychological, spiritual, financial struggle. And I think that, well, I know that the gym and exercising kind of gets all those chemicals going in my body without and our bodies and our brains without the necessarily achieving our goal of success as far as our career goes,
Hmm.
because you can't achieve anything if your body and your mind aren't flowing in great health and a great setting.
Yeah.
And first things first, a healthy mind, healthy body, and then healthy life. So for
Yeah.
me, is kind of the foundation. And for a long time, it wasn't. It wasn't that because I was working. I've been in nightlife more than half my life, and
Yeah.
it's really not a healthy environment whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I partook in all the unhealthy things for a long time. I always balanced it. I justified it with my health regimen. I've always been in the gym, not as good as I am now because I took away the negatives and only
Mm.
add positives in the past, 10 years or so. But it is a process. And I love that about you is that I think we met actually during COVID at the park working out and kind of found our relationship was founded on that
Yeah. On hell. Yeah.
in the middle of chaos and unknown what the future was. The only thing that we could actually take care of is ourselves, our minds, and our bodies.
Yeah.
And we are at the park doing that exact thing, staying strong and staying sane in the middle of chaos. And, I think I'd seen you maybe once other before at the park, but didn't really say anything because it was weird times. And then I saw you again. I was like, you know what? What's up? You guys obviously are in the right mindset to be out here working during scary times. And let me pick your brains. And you and Eric, shout out to Eric Copeland. He's going to be on here as well coming up for engaging. And we've grown so much. I've had so many great conversations with both of you. And I love that, getting yourself right starts with in the gym. And you spoke about Tony Robbins. That's what the point I was getting to was health, physical and mental. And I know that you are a adamant studying and a student of self improvement. And we've had many conversations on
Yeah.
some of the books, and we referred some books back and forth. And I wanted to talk about that part and the resetting and inspiring. You just spoke to you wish went to Tony Robbins. Tell me a little bit about that and how that kind of resets you on inspiration.
Yeah. So I mean, it was 6 days to Date with Destiny, and it's in Florida. And when you go there, at first I was kind of a super, super introvert, didn't know anyone, but went by myself. By the day five, I raised my hand first because we were sharing our breakthroughs. I stood up and it's on camera, and I got 5,000 people to dance with me. It was crazy. Yeah, I'll show you the clip soon. And I told everyone my breakthrough because it was breakthrough day. and I truly had a big breakthrough. And then everyone was coming up to me saying how they could relate. And one of the big breakthroughs was I was I valued creativity first, and health was like way not on the list. So as an example, I would get up and the first thing I would do is how do I, pay my bills? Because that's the question I would ask myself as an entrepreneur. And then my mind would answer, well, we got to go right to the fucking office and not to the gym because guess what happens at the gym? You don't pay your bills. So I always felt guilty working out because I can't pay my bills. So I changed that question. Now I don't ask myself that question. It's a disempowering question to ask yourself. And now I have health as my number one now, which I never thought I'd ever say. And now you saw me at the gym the other day, you know, I'm playing pickleball and I'm all in. Like I love what you said. Without a healthy body, without a healthy mind, I mean, an entrepreneur can say, hey, this AI software, if you click this button, one time a day, you'll be a billionaire. Like, I mean, dude, if you're not in the right, mindset and, you probably think it's snake oil or what you have all these, because if you don't feel good, then you'll have bad thoughts. So then when you have bad thoughts, you want to take good actions. And you don't take good actions and you're in this vicious cycle. And you and me have always talked about this, and I was always kind of in a rut, but finally, that really changed my life as far as the health. And that was there's like a lot of things that were a big breakthrough, but by far the health thing is my number one, dude. And I think this too. Like I used to do like these fitness challenges. Like people always say, "Oh, there's Jordan. He's doing another challenge." And the challenge, like, so as an example, I've done like 75 hard, probably like 5 times, but completed it once. But the other 4 times or whatever, I would get to like day 40. So it's not like horrible, right? And I would still get super shredded, super lean, super in shape. But then what happens after these challenges is I would stop doing them because I was doing them and kind of like chasing like significance or chasing some like approval in behind the scenes. And once I accomplished that, then back to the, how do I pay my bills? Sad song. And health would go off the roof because the challenge is done. And now we got to get back to work. And then I would get fat again. And now we're back into square one. So that was not like, it was kind of flash in the pan health spurts. And that's honestly probably why I'm not fucking fat. It's because I like periodically every 2-3 years, I say, enough's enough. I'm doing the 75 hard. I get shredded and I just go back to being fat and then do it all over again.
It's a vicious cycle, and you're not alone in that because sometimes when people don't have consistent discipline, they
Yes.
need that big challenge, and that's the
Yes.
part that's missing from most people's lives is the accountability on consistent discipline. You don't have
Yes.
to you don't have to go hard on a freaking strict diet for 30 days. You got to go, you know, you got to go pretty hard. You got to go pause semi hard on a fucking lifestyle to get there in 3 years, in 3 months, instead of,
Yes.
the quick turnaround. Everyone wants instant gratification. The 75
Yes.
hard. I get it done, and then now I'm gonna celebrate for the next 7 months.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Exactly.
it's the quick fix problem. People, they it's the same thing as like Ozempic. You go on Ozempic, but you don't change any of your habits. So you're still eating the same shit, but you take a shot and it makes it all better. And then you're off the shot and now your health is at risk again. Or same people who go on the carb diet, the Atkins. You stop eating carbs for 6 months and you lose all the weight, and then you get off the Atkins. One donut later, you're 60 pounds heavy again. It's not it's longevity conducive. It's a quick
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly, man. And I think you said a quote the other day before Tony Robbins. I think it was like was it again or was it what was it? Something like that.
again. Today,
Again.
again, tomorrow,
Yeah.
again.
Again.
Yes,
What about the next day?
again.
Again.
Yes,
And
that's
and if
those
you
are
can
more
take your health again, and that's like, the only thing that I mean, there's a lot of things like brushing your teeth. Do you ever say not again with your teeth? Like, no. You brush your teeth everyone universally. I hope everyone brushes their teeth every fucking morning. Flossing is a different story,
well,
right?
that's the extra effort you have to
Yeah,
make.
yeah, that's the yeah. So, but if I can make like working out, I am now as like brushing your teeth.
Yes.
And if that's what like everyone did in the world, like then like and not only that is doing the hardest thing in the morning too. So like you always worked out in the mornings. So if I catch myself saying I'll go to work first and I'll work out second, it never fucking works.
Yeah.
Ever works. Cause I'm so and I'm sure you can relate to this. Like you're still burning carbs when you're working mentally. Like, I forget there was a study done with chess players, they burned so many calories. So, like, dude, like, yeah, you're exhausted after work because 'cause you're working all the time, you're working out, like, so your willpower and all that shit goes out the window. So, I'm now making it a habit to, like, get up in the morning and just immediately go to LA Fitness, get it done, and just, like, mornings, like, and then pickleball in the afternoon.
Well, and you got to prepare to have that energy. One thing I took from the late great Jim Rohn was you got to work harder on yourself than you do your job.
I like that. I'm gonna write that down, dude. That's a
Work
good
harder on
one.
yourself than you do your job. That's Jim Rohn.
Work on yourself harder than you do your job.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like, like obviously, when people come back from these Tony Robbins events, there's a lot of like, up and then they go down, and then they bounce up and they stabilize typically. But, like for me, like I've been kind of like, it was like when I came back home, I like was like working out and I felt really good. But then my job but then if you don't have like a job security and you're an entrepreneur, you have to go fight and kill your own food. There's like that too. So it's like the certainty you're craving too, because like so it's like I'm like now chase because before I was like chasing the success so I could feel good about myself to feel loved. But now, like after Tony Robbins, like they make you like feel like kind of like really good about yourself. And then when you chase goals, it's not because usually people chase goals and then they'll be happy. And that's the trap they fall into. So it's like, how do we happily achieve versus achieve to be happy? And I was in the trap of achieve to be happy. So like as an example, the film festival, the big one that we sold out with you, like I was hardcore achieving to be happy, and I was taking some Adderall to like hardcore get this done. I was not like socializing, I was not working out, I was not doing the things that you should be doing. And although we sold out, I the next day I was extremely depressed. It was like dude, it was the day after my birthday, and I was like, dude, that was awesome, but it was like, I'll never do that again. Like, I had an epiphany that this is not the way, and I'm glad I had that micro lesson, but I was like, "This is that I'll never do this again." There's gotta be a happily achieving formula here so that's where going to this one, the Tony Robbins Date with Destiny, they teach you how to, like, happily achieve, and it's weird too, because when you come back, you're like, man, I feel so happy. I feel the drive to achieve the goals have decreased by 100%. So then you have to like trick your mind because now progress equals happiness. And now, but it's not like you need the goal to be happy. You're already happy already. And that's the kind of the mind fuck. And a lot of people would say, well, that's cheating, or that, how am I supposed to get motivated to get up and do my goals if I'm already happy?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it actually attracts your goals faster,
Yeah.
because you have to be enjoying the process. It's about,
Yeah.
they always say it's cliche, but you got to be able to enjoy the journey. It's like a pro athlete has got to enjoy the drills and the
Yeah.
lifting and the running. You got to enjoy the editing and the creating and the
Yeah.
speaking and the
Like that.
execution.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you recognize the burnout and it's kind of like I call it chasing the dragon. Is like you're chasing this high of success,
Yeah.
and once you get to that view,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm not able to enjoy this because I'm depleted, I'm exhausted
Yeah.
like shit. So now instead of enjoying the walk back down this hill, I'm gonna just fucking stumble, rumble, fall, and
Yeah.
collapse because I didn't take care of myself on the way
Yes.
up.
You know, when you were a DJ, when you first started out, was there a moment where you're like, until I'm DJing for a group of like 300, that's when I'll be happy?
No, when I first started out as a DJ, it wasn't to be popular. It wasn't to be recognized by the masses. I love the art of it. I love the manipulation of sound and music. I love music and I wanted to be able to put together music from all the different varieties of styles that I like together
Mm,
and make people enjoy that experience. I want to take people on an adventure. And even, when I started back in my bedroom before I was even 21, it was about putting the music together in a way that gave me this feeling of like a buzz of like,
mm,
dang, I blended these records together and made these stories from two different artists make sense together. It was like the artistry of music. How can I take two separate songs, two different artists, and put them together to make them make sense? And when I can do things like that and make the beats match, that was the experience for me that gave me joy. And then when other people started to notice it, that's when it starts like, oh, they're hearing it too. That's when it started to grow into like, how many people can I reach with this?
yes.
And how many people can I make feel good with this? How many people can I tell a story
Yeah.
of passion, love, excitement, and fun so that they feel that too when they leave or while they're with me? It kind of became like, how do I enhance these people's lives for the 4 hours that I have or the amount of time that I have with them? And that was always my experience and my love of it. That's why I loved it because the way it brought people together the same way you do with your family, and
Mhm.
it was that same thing. And I realized that young. Before I was a DJ, I was also an entertainer. I didn't have movie premieres on the scale of you did, but I always used to shoot skits of like newscasts and I would reenact music videos,
Nice.
come to the house. I used to have them all on VHS. I used to be like giving news reports dressed up as a woman, which I had no problem doing.
Yeah. Do your viewers know any of the skits we've done with your DJ one, dude? You gotta show that one day, man.
Oh, they've
Well, they know
seen
on
it.
your Instagram. It's all on your Instagram. You gotta pin it to the top though for the new people.
I know. It's in my Opus clips. I've got it chopped up.
Oh my gosh, dude.
So, same thing. I've always wanted to make people feel good
Yeah.
because I feel good. I love life. I love what I do. I find things that are hilarious and everything. I mean, my Opus clips, this Riverside thing just gave me my end of the year end of the year rundown, like Spotify does and YouTube. It gives you your yearly rewind.
Okay.
And the highlights of this show, which I'll post later, is all me laughing and saying the most common word for this podcast is obviously booth. So it's me laughing and booth. So, it's kind of perfect because I've chosen this life that I love and I love laughing more than anything. And here I am executing and doing that and sharing experiences with, people like you, entrepreneurs, producers, creatives, DJs, artists, actors, anybody that is pretty much manifesting their dreams through the vision and inspiration of purpose that they had, from a young age. So that's what we're here to do. And, I'm just grateful to have the means and the inspiration to actually do it. We talked
Yeah.
about it for a long time. I talked about I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
Technology has caught up to where I
Yeah.
don't need a full team to create my podcast. I don't need, someone with the next level is to have someone like Jamie on Rogan, where he's like, Jamie, look this up and throw this slap in of post edits to show videos of exactly what we're talking about. But that's all on its way. You just have to kind of get going with it and start creating as if it's going to already be happening. And that's
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think that we're both visionaries on that to get the ball rolling because I feel like this conversation is something that we're going to look back on when you are accepting awards on a large stage for the work that you have done and the way you've made people feel through your art. And, I'm grateful to be at this ground level with you because I do see it going as far as you want to take it. And, they don't call me prophet for nothing. So I take that, hope you take that to heart, my friend.
Dude, you got me there, bro. Thank you so much on that one, bro. Yeah, the more I see, you guys doing podcasts, I told you the other day, I bumped into you. I was like, yeah, I think I wanted to be doing podcasts. And I love how you're able to like, let me just start talking. I don't need to make this whole big studio. And then so I'm 25. So here's why I'm doing my pickleball podcast because after Tony Robbins, I was like, I want to inspire people to go play pickleball. And, because a lot of people, they want to play and they want to, but they're afraid to go to the courts and they're afraid because they don't know anyone, number one. And number two, they don't know how to play. So with those two fears, they're not going to go out and they're not going to socialize. They're not going to move. They're not going to, so I looked at it as like, how could Jordan like take his skills of like, filmmaking and pickleball, and even though I'm not making skits, like now back from Tony, I'm like, I want to inspire people to actually just go out and play the sport. That's number one. I want to get them moving again. So now I have an email list of people who watched my movie because of the online premiere. I have like 3,000 people. And I was like, what if I just interviewed people, just average people? They're not professionals because there's all these podcasts on people interviewing the professionals. I'm like, what if because I love the movie Joe Dirt. If you remember Joe Dirt, right? And he's just an average fucking guy, dude. Everyone loves him, right? So I was like, what if I do the Joe Dirt method? What if I just interview the average Joe who just plays pickleball, who's a mom or dad or older man who's or whatever, and like ask him questions of like how do they get over the fear the first time of going out to the court? Like how do they overcome that and what do they learn now, and how could the person watching this who's scared or nervous to go out and move because they don't have friends or they don't have any they don't know what paddle. They have all these like limiting beliefs. How do you get them to? And I was like, let's do that. So I emailed my list, and now I have like 12 people who responded like overnight. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna do this now. And I was asking you how you do this, and so now I'm gonna just go on faith and just interview them. And my goal is to just inspire people to go play pickleball, and then commercial breaks, like in between the podcast, it's like, hey, by the way, you can go see our free pickleball comedy movie that was in theaters. And DJ Profit was the the DJ.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And we talked about that when we talked at the gym was about, you're much more, people are much more attracted to relatability than they are to fame and
Yes.
mission. I
Yes.
can't with a superstar, but I connect with, Sarah, who's a mom of three that loves pickleball because I have kids and I want
Yes.
time. And she's inspiring me because she can do it. I can do it.
Yes.
People look at people doing things and like, oh, well, they make excuses for them. Oh, well, they don't have kids, or they are.
Yes.
I used to do the same thing. Oh, they have trust fund, or they got all the plugs, or their
Yes.
dad's their dad's a pro athlete, whatever.
Yes, dude. Exactly, bro. And like from a business standpoint, I'm like, well, dude, I'll have endless guests. But like that's a second thought though. The first thought was I just want to inspire people to be healthy because like, you've always been an advocate for me. And now because I have made this big movie that everyone now like comes to me, and I have this kind of way of like talking to people and use me as a vessel to interview people and help them now play pickleball. But like now, like the formula for the business is like the podcast is the Pickleflix podcast. So if you ever, anyone watching want to know anything about pickleball, go to the YouTube channel Pickleflix, like Netflix. And then on that, you'll see all these podcast episodes of Average Joes. And then in between, there'll be little like call to actions to go see our free movie. And then once a year, when the next one's made, I'll have a new trailer on that YouTube channel. And that I feel like I woke up and like, dude, that could be a great next 10 years of my life, bro.
It is, and it's almost effortless because you're just doing you. It's
Yeah.
not anything that's outside of your comfort zone. You love people, you love pickleball, you love
Yes.
creating, you love entertaining, you have a great personality,
Yes.
very engaging, and you're what I love about you a lot, mostly is that you are eager to learn. You
Yeah.
know, you are eager to learn more and gain wisdom, and you're not closed off from gaining knowledge, and but at the same time you are in a space to where you can harness being a being an expert in pickleball because you produced you live it. So
Yeah.
you're so with the podcast, you're expressing your your knowledge, and you're helping people understand it and get comfortable with the game. I would even say set up pickleball 101 courses as another form of in-person selling tickets to teach people how to play pickleball.
So we actually already did that. Yeah, good idea though.
Yeah, thanks.
So I worked Tony, dude. So get this, and this is like another cool thing to anyone listening about. Like, sometimes when you follow your passion and it leads you to places like you don't even know. So I was doing the movie, and I was getting kind of depressed, and I was doing my movie, the movie, and it was during the time where we were doing the online streaming one. So we already did the one with you, and then next year I was like, let's just do an online version so we can get all the millions of people. So during that time, I was doing, guess what, the same fucking thing. I was neglecting my health, blah, blah, blah. But I was doing the movie. So I went to Tony Robbins. I'm like, I gotta, at least I was like, I can't have the last event go the same way. So at least I can go to Tony Robbins while I'm in tangent, while I'm doing the online premiere. So I go to Tony Robbins and I, I do the online 4-day Unleash the Power Within. And this guy walks out on stage. His name's Brian Bradley. He's been with Tony Robbins for 30 years. He's like a world famous biomechanics, posture guru. He like helps Tony and professional athletes and average Joe people like how to like 10x their life from like little like posture biomechanic hacks because like in pickleball, and he comes out on stage with a fucking pickleball paddle, and he started talking about how people in pickleball, it's like the number one sport in the world, but it's also like the number one most injured sport in the world. And I'm like thinking to myself, my God, dude, like I got to get with that guy. So I hit him up, and dude, I had him come down to Temecula, and we made a pickleball posture secrets. We're changing the name of pickleball biomechanics blueprint, but we made that course, and I sold like 12 students so far. And so they come for the movie, and then I upsell them on the email list to like learn that. And so that for me, like transform my brain into like now I'm like giving back into like helping them get better at the sport and preventing chronic pain that could destroy their lives. Cause unfortunately, there's some stories where people play pickleball and their lives are completely ruined because of an extreme stupid ass injury. Like, just to give you an example, this year alone, 1,600 people will have an extremely bad eye injury, like just stupid stuff like that. And so, and that's as simple as, get in the ready position, have your paddle up. People are just not really taught that. They just like, they've never done a sport, or they never gone to the gym for like 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And they think of this new fad called pickleball, and they try it, they get addicted, and they're still not going to the gym. They just go play pickleball without any warming up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
next thing you know, dude, they pull something and they're old and they're screwed now for like 6, 7 months, dude. And they get depressed, and then the vicious cycle goes, I can go on and on. So there's like, I feel for those people. So if I can make them laugh, but then like give them like, here's what you like also really should look at as
No,
well.
it is a beautiful, complete ecosystem of
Yes.
health, fun, mental. It's
Yes.
basically its own bubble of lifestyle that is, a good metaphor for life in general. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be active, you got to be healthy, you got to
Yes.
compete, you got to take
Yes.
action, you got to protect yourself, you got to be prepared. And I think that, damn, like it sounds like you don't have to do anything else but live in this pickleball world for the rest of your life, Jordan.
Well, I think this sport's gonna, I really believe it's here to stay. I don't think it's gonna be like the next like flash of the pan. Like even racquetball at LA Fitness has declined. I think this is the new.
No, you know what? It levels the play. It allows people it's a good entry level athleticism because not
Yeah, dude,
everyone is a top
racquetball is hard.
yeah, not everyone is a top tier in shape athlete.
Yeah,
This is
you played
mid grade.
racquetball
Yeah,
at
it's
LA
exhausting.
Fitness?
It's even
It's
handball.
exhausting, it's hard as hell, it's, like, and dangerous. That little ball is
And the older guys that play it, this also gives them a, ride into the sunset, calm down, step it down a notch, or people that want to step up. It's a good leveler.
yeah,
You can either step down to it or you can step up from it,
yes.
right? Let's say it's not intense enough for you. So go to racquetball or handball. But if you are getting to that age of, Philip Rivers, 44 years old, getting off the couch, he used to be an amazing tennis or racquetball player, you can go play pickleball and still compete at a fun high level.
Yes.
It's a and for kids that it's a great entry level for kids. I know they're adding it to curriculum in schools that can afford the paddles instead of
Yeah,
tennis. And who knows where it's going to be in the next 10, 15 years. It could be they just added breakdancing to the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? You could flag football even. So pickleball could be in the Olympics in the next 10, 15 years. And then imagine your global appeal. Holy shit. Because you'll be at the base level now, and in 10 years from now, when it's added to the globe, the Nike, you'll be signed by Nike for pickleball.
dude, I love if, when people talk, I listen, but when DJ Prophet talks, I'm like, "This is written."
I like that. This is the gospel, baby.
And like you said, dude, it's about how do we make this the long run? I'm a flash in the pan guy, and I'm transforming my mindset since Tony is how do I make this to where it's a 10-year plan where I'm doing this consistently for 10 years. Because I gotta tell you, man, like I thought I would already be a millionaire in this pickleball entertainment space, and I'm not. And I have gone through, I'm 30, almost 35. And you ask yourself, I'm sure every man in his mid 30s thought they're gonna be a fucking multimillionaire. You know, did you?
Oh, of course. I thought I
Right?
was a millionaire when I was 20, when I was
Yeah. I've
10.
done all these multi-level marketing companies in my early 20s. I thought it was like, so like, there's that component too. But so with Tony's stuff, it's how do we happily achieve and not because like I was trying to you know, I was pushing the pickleball so much that I forgot to enjoy the journey of pickleball. And it made me kind of sour to the sport because I wasn't getting enough recognition or maybe enough views or maybe enough money. Maybe I was getting all the views, but no money. And I was like so mad at myself and I was like getting sour of the sport. And I was kind of treating some of the creators kind of like, I just didn't like who I was becoming. And I knew that if I don't go to Tony Robbins, ain't no one's gonna hang out with me, dude. Like I'm gonna become some like fucking
Bitter.
pessimistic, like, cause like right now my stock is going backwards, but it's being aware. It's like, okay, I'm aware that we're going backwards. So step one is you want to change and then you change. But when you change, Tony talks about lag time, and lag time is as an analogy that he talks about when he was driving a 240 mile per hour race car. This guy, it's like he's going down and there's a corkscrew where it's a hard right. And when you turn the car and you're going that fast, the car, even though you're doing it right, it doesn't turn yet. So you have to like focus on where you want to go. And even though there's no immediate gratification of the turning, it takes that lag time to finally the car to understand it and then turn. He uses that as an analogy for life. And now I'm trying, like, so as an example of going to the gym, it's like if I go to the gym for 7 days, I'm going to weigh the same and look the same. But it takes that lag time of, sometimes 4 weeks, sometimes 8 weeks to see the results. So I'm training my mind with a longevity plan of like you said, if I do this, if I just stick in this little bubble and interview people, do the skits and train people on how to like prevent injury and be better, do that for 10 years, dude. And by 10 year, Nike will probably fucking sign you. Like that's how I gotta start looking at my mindset. And anyone who's watching this as a more what can I accomplish in 10 years, rather than like if I get so, 1 year, if it doesn't work out, then I'm fucked.
Straight up. And back to your point of wanting to be thinking you're gonna be a millionaire at this age, that is actually the truth, is that you have the ability and the potential to be a millionaire, but you have to do the things that it takes to be a millionaire before you are a millionaire. Who are
Mm,
you? You have to be the millionaire
yeah.
and have their regimen and their discipline in order to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
So you can't just want to be a millionaire. What does a millionaire look like? What does he do every day? How does
Yes.
he talk? What actions does
Yes.
what does his schedule look like?
Yeah.
What does he get up every day?
Yes.
And that is the process that I have learned as of late, since I've been on this, personal development journey my whole life, but
Yeah.
really tuned in the past, 6, 7 years. I mean, I was really into it heavy as a kid. And then I kind of got caught up in what you were talking about. And I thought I was gonna be a bigger DJ at an earlier age, which I was. I thought I was gonna be rich off it, which I wasn't, because I didn't have the millionaire habits. I didn't have
Okay.
millionaire vision, but I didn't have the millionaire discipline.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't put away my money. I didn't invest. I was living off of the now, living check to check,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
spending everything I got,
Yeah.
being in debt. And by the time I do get money, I can't have the money because I'm paying off all these debts.
Yes.
That's not how millionaires work. They count every penny. They know where everything's going. Everything's
Yeah.
budgeted. They have a disciplined budget that they can and do not spend. They put away 10%. They give tithe. They are of service. So when you start doing those things with that end goal in mind, and as the carrot or the treasure at the end of the journey, it makes all those things worth it. And that
Yeah.
invest you have to become that person before you get the prize, is the point I'm trying to make.
Yes.
And by doing the podcast and by doing the helping people learning about, health and how to protect their joints and ligaments and orbital bones,
Yeah.
that is what's going to allow that dream of yours of being the savant of this space.
Yes.
And you're on your way. And you just have to trust the process. And that's been the major life lesson for me, has been patience,
Yeah.
as it is for all of us. I think all of us having this human experience have to learn these things: patience, forgiveness, attitude, mindset, compassion, and stop comparing. Everyone's on their own journey. Just because someone else is a millionaire at 35 doesn't mean that you are. And to be honest with you, if you were a millionaire at 25, what would you have done with those millions of dollars? You would have fucked it up. I would have. I used to have dreams of being this celebrity millionaire, but if I were to become that when I envisioned it, I would have fucked it off. I would have gotten in some trouble or gotten exposed saying or doing some shit that would have
Yeah.
cost me everything, because I
Yeah.
wasn't the right person to be able to handle that success.
Right.
And
Right.
now that we've worked on ourselves and gained this wisdom and are applying it,
Yes.
I see the fruition of the universe rewarding. Same with you. These wake up calls that you get, the self imposed depression because you feel like you're not doing enough. It's not that, you're doing it. So take pride in that and find joy in that, in the little steps and the setbacks. The
Yeah.
setbacks are not always the rejection. I like to say is protection. You
Mm.
didn't into this space because you weren't prepared, or it would have gone bad because you're not physically, mentally, emotionally, and maturely able to handle that success yet. That's why it hasn't happened for you
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
me and anyone else that is trying to achieve their goals and dreams.
Yeah.
So trust the process, have the patience, take the action, the inspired action, and be disciplined on the baby steps it takes on this million-mile journey.
Yeah. Million mile. Exactly, man. That's how long this road is,
It's
man.
never ending.
Never ending.
What's next? What are you gonna do next? How do you continue on? How do you improve? How do
Yeah.
you give back even more? How do you leave it better than you found it?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly, man. Because one day, yeah, you're gonna be gone. So how do you are you planning even after your death? Like, how does it keep living and keep benefiting others?
Right? Who's inspired and taking taking the cliff notes that I struggled through? Who's going to take all the mistakes I made, learn from those
Yeah.
to not make them? I mean, that's another reason why I started doing this, because I made so many mistakes and stumbled. I failed my way into success, right? But if I can help someone like my kids, I tell them all the time, let me help you skip some levels here because I've made the mistake so that you don't
Yeah.
have to. It's the same in the DJ game. Lee, you're talking about getting bitter instead of better. I was doing the same thing.
Mhm.
It's the comparison is the thief of joy. Why is this guy blowing up? Why does he have a billboard and I don't? I'm way better than him.
Yeah.
Well, because
Yeah.
I'm not putting in the work. I'm not putting in the network. I'm not dialing in the relationships it takes to do that. And what am I not sacrificing? I always wanted to be the cool guy and not play the commercial music because that's easy.
Mm.
That's the easy route. That's a sellout route,
Mm.
right? So I struggled and played the underground and
Yeah.
played little clubs instead of the mainstream clubs because I wanted everything to be about egotistically about what I'm doing.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Interesting.
And as soon as I escaped that mindset, my career has never been better. I'm playing a bunch of bullshit. I would never, 27-year-old Prophet would not be playing what this age Prophet is playing. There's no fucking way. That shit is lame. But guess what? This Prophet has got full pockets, while that Prophet was fucking empty and struggling and,
Yeah.
and living in survival mode instead of
Yes.
thrival mode. So, but I had to get that. I had to do that to get to this.
Yes. Yes. Well
There's
said,
no
man.
strength without struggle. You go to the weight room and you do a bunch of push-ups, right? To be able to put that bar up heavier, to put
Yeah.
more weight on that bar.
Yeah.
And then you do that bar until you can put more weight on that bar. You can't go in there and put 300 pounds on the bar and try to do it without building it up, without getting to point of failure and knowing what you can and can't do.
Yes. Yes.
And it's the same in this life. And man, I'm so proud of you for just the growth that I've seen in the few years that I've been in contact with you and seen your struggle, literally, physically, mentally, emotionally. I've been there with you along the way. We've had
Yeah.
conversations about books and self-help and inspiration and guidance. And man, it's just very moving to see your levels of success keep on growing, even with setbacks and keeping the mindset because there's going to be more.
Yeah.
There's many more, many, many,
Oh,
many more.
yeah. Yes.
But now you have the strength to recover and the tools to
Yes.
recover from those and the self, not self-medication, but the self-healing and the perspective of an observer rather than internally going through it. You can
Yes.
go from the outside and have a better perspective with maturity, I believe, as we all should.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that, man. And like, when we first met you, you were running up and down Nicholas, but like, and you still haven't changed. Like all these years, you're still the same guy. Just every day, you're still running.
Well, I'm chipping away, and that's that thing, the 10 years worth.
Yeah.
You know, that was at the beginning of my super health journey. Like
Yeah.
super committed, cutting all the excess out. And it's been a trickling effect. I still, am on the path. I'm not straight edge by any means, but I have prioritized my health over everything, my sleep, my
Yeah.
recovery, and I have to commit to myself before I try to do anything else for anybody else. Because like, the oxygen mask comes down from the plane. What do they say?
Hey, put it on your face
Put it on
first.
yourself so that before you can even help your women and children and the elderly.
Right.
Because
Right.
without oxygen, if you can't breathe, you can't do shit for anybody.
Yes.
So it all starts with self, and it's not selfish, it's actually selfless. And, the better you can take care of yourself, the better you can take care of others. And you'll learn that even more, on your journey of manhood when are the sole provider for your family. And it totally fixes your perspective. Like this work you're doing now is preparing you for that because that
Right.
is the ultimate challenge. That is the ultimate goal as put here in the image of creators. We are the creators. It is our duty to leave it better than we found it, as we spoke about, and that is through our seeds that we planted uh,
Yes.
and our legacy.
Dude, well said. Like, just at the end of the day, for me, it's like, how can I encourage others to be like more healthy in this world. And I think like with you, well, you even though you're doing the DJ stuff, when I look at you, you're like the healthy DJ because there's like fat filmmakers out there.
There's, trust me, most DJs are fat and out of
Yeah,
shape.
yeah. So you know, if like now it's kind of like I want to be known for like encouraging health first and then having fun. So like so that's why I love like hanging around people like you is because you've always like have been that, and then like the fun is second, but your health is first though. Before we have fun at nightclubs, we're going to the gym first.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get the dose because everything because everything that we used and I have used and we all have used, well, most people have used to enhance those feelings or
Yes.
naturally come, those things just break them out. You
Yeah.
know, whatever you do, drinking, smoking, sniffing, whatever,
Yeah.
huffing, popping, whatever people do to bring it out, that's actually, it already is in us.
Yes.
And you have to find a way to bring it out through your vessel so that we are higher beings than they lead us to believe. They feed us consumption of everything, of things we don't need. Every
Yeah.
other commercial on TV is about a fucking medication or a fast food or a gambling or spending money, some way of spending, trying to make ourselves feel better through some kind of consumption.
Yes. Exactly.
And when really what feels the best is giving, especially with, like, look at Christmas giving up. I used to be like, nothing makes me feel better than giving something to someone that improves their life or gives them that joy.
Yeah.
As you become older, because as a kid, it's about receiving everything, but then as you're adult, and there's no better feeling than giving my friend a record or my kid something that they earned or have wanted for a long time, or my wife something that, I know that she really wants but never tells me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that that is the human experience, is to give. We're a community. We're about sharing. We're about bringing people together. That is what we do, at the basic raw,
Yeah.
at the basic core of humanity. We are hunters and gatherers. We huddle together around fire and in caves because our energy and our frequencies vibrate off of each other. And that's what we are built on. That's what our happiness comes from. And if you're not vibrating at that high level of attraction, then people don't want to be around you. And the only way to get to that vibration is to start it within, to get that blood flowing, to get those endorphins and molecules and chemicals going in through your body to
Yes.
make you feel good, to attract good.
Yes. Dude, I'm glad we're recording this. That's an Opus clip.
This is it, baby. This is what it's all
Yeah.
about.
So, what? Yeah. So, what? Like, where do you see yourself too? Like, do you see you're doing this for the next 10 years of interviewing Truth from the Booth?
Myself, I see myself consistently doing this, moving into a sponsored studio with a team
Hey.
and production.
Yes.
I do see myself still traveling and DJing, just working out, inspiring, coaching. Like your bubble of pickleball is my bubble of Prophet and Coach Fig. I just want to do the things I love, uh,
Yes.
inspire and motivate people to also do the things that they love. Not
Yeah.
necessarily I do. I don't need you to do exactly what I do, but find
Yeah.
your equation that gives you joy and inspiration to wake up every day and be grateful, and
Yes.
find your mathematics. I wake up, I have my routine, I give my gratitude journal, I read, I meditate, I study, I absorb knowledge, I express myself, I take other perspectives. I'm always trying to improve. And the first thing before I spend my time doing is like, how is this improving me? How is this enhancing me? And how is this making my life and everyone's lives around me better?
I
And if it
love
doesn't
that.
do this, if it
Yeah.
doesn't do that, then I ain't got time for it.
Yeah. 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 Yes. I love around that.
Right? How's it improving my world? Because the world is within. It's so above, so below. If I'm not feeling good, nothing is going good,
Yes.
you know?
Yes. Totally. Totally, man.
And that's it. So that's how I do it. And I'm still learning, how to dial it in even more nitty gritty, like digging out the into the cracks. Like, how do I improve even more? Or how
Yeah.
do I inspire even more? And the more honest I get with myself, I think that is the more vulnerable I
Yeah.
express myself and expose myself,
Yeah.
I pause. I think that that is the key because nobody perfection is impossible.
Yeah.
Why
Yes.
am I just gonna keep showing people my highlight reel? Nobody learns from the highlight reel. You don't
No
learn
one
from
learns from the highlight. Yes.
losing. Learn from failing. This is what not to do. I can
Yeah.
go undefeated. What did I learn? I could be, on an undefeated streak. But by the time I'm 100-0, it becomes numb. And then when I take that one L, now I got to reevaluate my whole life.
Yeah.
I'd rather win some, lose some, learn all the times.
I like that. Win some, lose some, learn.
Going into my coaching youth sports,
Yeah.
that has given me that perspective from a
Yes.
childlike energy, from a childlike, I have to get on their level in order to connect with them. So, how can I express myself to connect with them through my words of wisdom on their level?
Yeah.
And I think that most people are on that element, on that young level of maturity. I believe that everyone is just their 9-year-old selves in an adult body. Think about
Well
when you're
said.
9. Our true self is that 9-year-old little kid.
Yeah.
It didn't do nothing but the shit they like. Didn't do anything other than they don't have to eat the food they don't like. They don't have to
Yeah.
do things they don't want to do. You know what I mean? And I think that treating people as that, is gives them, it helps you have a little more compassion and relatability to them instead of being like judging. Like, if we're all 9 years old, like I play my daughter on the playground, she's 9, and kids will just go up, "Hey, you want to play with me?" That's a 9-year-old mentality.
Yes.
Why don't we have that? Hey, we had that at the
Yes.
park. That's why
Totally.
we looked it at the park, 9 years old. Hey, you're
Yes.
working out. I'm working out. What do you do to stay
Yeah.
in shape? Well,
Yes.
and if anyone in the human race did that with each other, we'd be in a lot better space.
Dude, 100%, man. And yeah, going to Tony Robbins, man, they make you like hug and laugh and cheer and clap people and like, yeah,
Celebrate each other.
yeah, it's like, dude, I felt like never felt more connected in my life. Like for the last 6 days, like I have so many friends now just because of just like you're saying hi and giving each other.
I lived that for my life. I see a nice shirt. I see a band shirt. I'm like, yo. The other day, me and my wife were out, and somebody was wearing a Sublime shirt, and I love Sublime. And I walked by this lady. I'm like, I don't practice Santeria, and she goes, I'm got no crystal ball, and
Oh my gosh. Yes.
she finished the bar for me, and
Yes.
that gave me goosebumps.
Oh my gosh. That's so cool.
Right? Or I could have been, here's the other spectrum. I could have been like, the other version of me would have been like, bitch got a Sublime shirt on, but I don't even know who Sublime is. Right? That's the
Mhm. Yeah.
bipolar, that's where most people think.
Yeah.
Or I love Sublime. I wish I could say something to them. That's a connection. That's a sign from the universe that that person is you and you are that person. You have that connection there. And are you going to walk by and let it pass? Or are you going to connect it and give that person a little bit of that chemical that we're all looking for?
Yes. Yes.
Connection chemical.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And I connect, and and the reason I mentioned that is because you said that you're inspired by that, Tony Robbins. Dude, that can happen every day for you.
Yes. 100%.
Hey, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal. Man, I love Home Alone. I love Home Alone, right? And someone says that's a connection that you have with someone, a stranger on the street, if they recognize that shirt.
Yes. Yes.
Why not make that engagement? You could have stopped that person from fucking killing themselves that day.
Dude,
You could have
yes.
stopped that person from getting drunk and beating their wife or kid or
Yes.
by that
Dude,
interaction.
I
And I
swear
don't
to
think
God, you
break those nudges.
yeah, so, dude, there was a story about that someone tried to kill themselves, and they were about to do it, but then someone, like, Tony Robbins was talking about this, and then, like, he, like, asked him, like well, first he was a cop, and then he didn't get paid enough, so he went into business with his brother. They sold Christmas trees in New York, made $10,000, invested in the stock market, made $1 million, and then he lost it all, and he was going to commit suicide. So as he's going to commit suicide, there's this older guy who, like, you know, gave him shit, making fun of him in a pokey kind of fun way. Like, "What's up, Sonny? Why the long face?" And then, like, turns out that guy was 75 years old. He was a multi-millionaire immigrant, and he was so depressed because he lost his wife died, and he didn't think there was a reason to live anymore. So the guy, super depressed, about to kill himself. He's about to drown himself. Like, he met the old guy, and this is a true story. And then the old guy coached the depressed guy for 9 weeks, and he gave the old guy who was very depressed and didn't think life was worth living a reason to live. And then the guy is gonna commit suicide. He got the gift of a stranger helping him, and then he went on to being a multimillionaire. And
The
like you said,
the
it's just like,
reciprocation.
yeah, dude, crazy. So, I believe in just pattern breaking people because you don't know what they're going through. And that could be a simple act as, like you said, finishing the finishing the sublime verse, saying something about their shirt, their shoes, or
And
just their overall vibe, and it's free and it
you
feels good.
smile. You have
Yeah,
to be a smile or a wave. Just an acknowledgement of existence, I think,
yeah,
is enough sometimes.
yes,
Because like you said, everyone is going through things.
yes,
And that's the human experience. And we're all in this shit together.
yeah,
We're all gonna fucking die.
yes. I know,
So why not make the most and enjoy this little blink of time that we have and connect with everyone?
dude. I love it, man. I wrote some notes from you today, man. I thought I was going on a podcast. I didn't know I was going to a seminar.
Well, that's another thing is, I believe I see myself, TED talking here in no time. I'm reading a book right now called The War of Art. You've heard of the art of
Yeah, I got to read that. That's a good one here.
Yo, you do.
Yeah,
It is we do. I
yeah.
mean, it is speaking directly to us.
Okay,
It's getting over yourself and holding yourself back. Why? You have to go whatever you fear most, you have to do, right?
okay,
Whatever you fear most, you have to do it because that is the that is the test.
okay.
Are you do you really want this success? Or are you afraid of success because it exposes who you really are? And that's another thing that goes back to the development of who you are. You haven't had the success yet because you haven't developed into that person worthy of holding it.
Right,
They
right.
say, like the lottery, when these people win the millions of dollars of lottery, they're usually broke trailer trash pieces of shit. T- uh,
Yes,
Excuse my assumption. And that money, they lose it within 5 years because
yes.
they are not the people that are deserving of knowing how to handle it.
Right, right. Exactly. Yeah, I've heard this before.
So it's the same thing with with our path is that you have to be worthy of the success. You have to be willing, you have to be able to handle it. You have to be the person that won't fuck it up.
Yes, yes.
So the harder you work on yourself, the easier it makes your job and receiving those things. And um that's
Yeah, I love it, man. So, like, for me, like, what after we talk, I'm gonna go to the gym, but, like, for me, like, it's like I almost want to. I'm making a new ritual since Tony Robbins, and before I would chase the likes, film it like a challenge, but now I'm like, I literally bought 3 GoPro batteries, and I was actually gonna like selfishly do it for myself, like make a YouTube, but I was just like I was gonna document me, like it's almost like so like when my kids when I have kids, they can like see like me, like how I so it's like documentary for my kids, like versus me like posting it all the time on Instagram. So I kind of I'm switching to like, all right, I'm not chasing it for the views. I kind of just want to document the process of this new life. And so because I've if I'm not for me, I love to track. I'm not tracking myself. Like I feel like I don't know how much progress I made. So it's as simple as like kind of like using it as a tracker. So I have,
and accountability.
yeah,
I think that's one of the things that attracts you to these challenges when you post them because you lack self accountability.
yes,
You needed to outsource it, and that's what
yes,
attracted you to these challenges.
yes,
So now that you've developed some self accountability, this is going to help you
right,
without relying on other people. This
Right.
is for your future self, and
Yeah,
that's something that
yes,
you need to fucking be accountable.
yes. Yeah, because when I'm looking at myself as a millionaire, I can go back to these older videos. I'm like, wow, you started waking up early, you went to the gym, you read the books, you did the mantras, you're eating right, and you did it every day and you recorded it. And now you look at you, you're a millionaire. And so, like, yeah, if and then anyone's like, well, how did you do it? I'm like, I have either earlier documentation of how I did it. You
And
can just go back to my,
it's gonna be a great reel because
yeah.
it's not just highlights,
Right. No,
the
that's yeah, more
lowlights.
of a and I wasn't really gonna yeah, I wasn't even, like, gonna, like, edit it to where it's, like I was more, like, just, like, gonna, film it, I'll, like, upload it, chop it up within milliseconds, and just dump it, like, versus me, like, trying to make it entertaining. I
No,
was
and
just like, no, it's
that's where you
more
slap it into
yeah, slap it,
focus.
boom. So it's like, here's what I did. Like, almost like God's your accountability partner. Here you go, here's all the footage, like, and just forget about it, and just, like, do that for, like, fucking 12 months, and because I'm a filmmaker, I can use that because I know how to, like, quickly film and upload. So I got that skill set, and that could be my own little, like, I'm just talking out loud because I just bought 3 batteries before I was talking to you. So, GoPros, man, they eat you have a GoPro? They eat battery life, like, 1 hour, 2 hours max sometimes.
No, well, start today, my brother. Start today.
Yeah, exactly. I'm actually moving too right now. After this, after I work out, I'm moving. Sometimes when you move, it's kind of a nice little reset.
It is. Even moving your space around your room.
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
remodeled the whole house for the man that I am today, and the family that we are today is not the same family as last year. So the little remodel has gotten it together, and that's smart. Move your space, move your energy, and be the new version of,
Yes.
be the better, improved version of yourself.
Yes. Yeah, well said, man.
Man, well, it's been a beautiful conversation with you today, Jordan. Man, I'm so grateful for you coming on here and being vulnerable and telling your story. And I'm excited to continue on with you on this journey and progress and be witness to your progress process and celebrate your accomplishments. And man, if you could just let everybody know where they can follow along on your journey, social media wise, website wise, like, subscribe, comment, and get tickets to all your pickleball entertainment and educational sources.
Yes, and appreciate the kind words, dude. And thank you again for always supporting me in my journey off camera. You've been big advocate for me. It's cool that, and also a good tip for anyone watching is like have a friend like Chris in your life. Get somebody at the gym. Get a healthy friend. If there's one thing I can recommend, you get a healthy friend that takes health first and then partying second. All right. Cause we all have our party friends, but get your health friends. So get a really good health friend. So yeah, so simply, man, if you guys want to see what we do, go to nightofpickleballcomedy.com. That's nightofpickleballcomedy.com. Or you could simply go to pickleflix.com as well. Pickleflix, like Netflix. And you can also follow my personal journey on, Instagram. My name Jordan Bryant, and films FILS.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for making this a great episode. It was easy work. You make it so simple, and I know we could talk for hours and hours. So I definitely want to keep up, get another one of these in here in the next 6 months to track your progress. Let me know where you've
Love that.
accomplished
Love
and
that.
how you've grown. And I will be happy to have you back on. And by that time, we'll be in a one-on-one studio, and I'll have a whole team of folks here getting me information and popping up side pop-ups for visuals and all that.
I gotta teach you to play pickleball too, man.
And we're gonna film it, and that's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Ironically, the character you played, you busted a girl, and the coach was a girl that kept preaching trust the process.
Yep.
And
Yep.
ironically, that's you live you live by
When I
that.
was sitting there watching her film that, I'm like, "Yo, this is crazy," because I'm conscious, right, as an observer. And when she was kept saying that, and we kept doing the lines over and over again, I'm like, this is exactly where the universe needs me to be. This is I always do my lesson. Now it's this lady saying it out loud, like, okay, thank you. I hear you loud and clear. Roger that. I got it. 10-4.
We'll do a part 2 where you follow the girl in jail. You're like, "Hey, you know, I was resonating with what you
Yes.
say, even though you're a con person."
Yeah, your arrests changed my life.
gonna bust you out of here. You changed my life.
Your failure planted my future seed of success.
Dude, if I do a part two, it'll be the journey of that what single military man that just like overheard the con person just changed his fucking life.
Let's go. The sequel to be continued.
Yes, yes,
All
correct.
right,
Hey,
Jordan.
we do need to do a solo something with you, bro. You at this point, I always have a rule: if you're two extras and a DJ, then you get your own film with Jordan. So
I climbed the ladder. I climbed the ladder, success escalator style. I'll be happy to be the leading man in a
yes,
feature. Got a couple things written down.
yes,
I do. We'll get together and execute that. And with AI now, which we didn't even get into, with AI, we
I
can
know,
make it in no time.
I know, crazy.
Oh, well, beautiful, man. Well, Jordan Bryant, thank you so much. This is The Truth from the Booth, episode 15. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, and been along and followed along and supported this journey of mine, whether it's been the past 6 months, 6 days, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years, or all of the years of my life. I'm so grateful and happy to have you along with it to experience the joy that I live and hopefully can inspire some joy in your lives too. This is The Truth in the Booth. I'm Chris Figueroa, DJ Prophet. That's Jordan Bryant. And we will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Bye, guys.